Let's go straight for it. Let's go relationships between Black and white women. Okay. So my thoughts on relationships between Black and white women. I work with a lot of Black women currently, not a lot currently, a few. I'd say 10 currently. But in Seattle, I worked at a basically not all Black, but pretty much all Black high school. And I obviously naturally worked with a lot of Black women in education, whoop, whoop. And let's see what I wrote, actually. So like coming together in large numbers, I think yes, absolutely. And I think it's hard. It's hard for a few reasons. I'm just going to shoot from the brain now. So one of the reasons that I think it's hard is because on average, I think that Black women certainly are shown in society, but also maybe like show to the world or are normed in showing to the world a little bit of a stronger version, certainly than like white women have historically been told to or have had an example of, like showing themselves to the world. So I will be honest and say that I was kind of scared several times. Like, this is a working relationship, I know, but just like the like power and certainty and willingness to take up space and like comfort, that really what it was is the comfort that I felt from them in their strong showing up in the world was like, and I'm not being euphemistic here. I'm not saying like they were bitches and I like chose to interpret it as strength. No, it was like actual legitimate like opinions, perceptions, like I did not feel comfortable to share my opinions or perceptions to the outside world, because when you do that, then you can be like criticized. And I'm not comfortable at all with like responding to criticism. Obviously, it's been something that I'm working on in my life, and so I'm getting better at it. But just simply like the feeling that I got from working with them was so like unnatural and abnormal to me that I had no place to like put it in my brain. And so I was like scared of fucking up in front of them. Because I knew that they were going to be like either during class or after class, like, hey, Cassandra, you know, blah, 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 blah. And it was because I grew up in Kansas, right? So like super uniform experience, like everyone is kind of pretty much the same way. Certainly all the women are. They're like very kind, very polite, very gentle, da, 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 da. And someone just telling me a declarative statement like that was good or that was bad or whatever it was, like that was an uncomfortable experience for me. And so I can certainly imagine other people, and I will say, me growing up in Kansas and being relatively inexperienced, yet I was super curious and I was super open and I was super aware of and knowledgeable about the fact that my experience of life was very limited. It was not typical because I grew up in white America. And so even though I was interested in other people and I was curious about other people, the actual experience of the other people put my like nervous system, like my, like the basic human response systems, like they put such alert that I was like, I was scared. I was uncomfortable and I was scared, and I did not know. I couldn't accommodate those experiences, I guess.
So you feel like, I guess maybe culturally, you feel like Black women are like more expressive or like more, what's the word, like upfront or
upfront, expressive, resolute. I think they're more like unapologetic in a way, and
like assertive. Do you feel like is an appropriate?
Certainly assertive. Yes, yeah. I'm gonna say assertive. Not assertive in a bad way. Assertive in a great way, in a very basic human way, really. And obviously now I'm 33 to 32. I have no idea how old I am. I'm 32, and so, but at that time it doesn't even really matter. But
you're younger. You wouldn't know what you know now. Wait, are you talking about now?
No, I'm talking about like then, like the experience of being like around people who were so different from me, not just Black women, but Black men. And I was, okay, it's a little bit around the way here. So I was exposed to people who were super different from me, but they were still white. They were German when I was 16, and then I went again when I was 18, and then again when I was 20 to turning 21. So obviously those people were very, very, very different than me. And we had a lot of conflicts too. I got bitched out for crossing the street with no cars, even though the was like, no, don't go. And I was like, fuck you, or I don't know what I said. But it was totally different because I was like, oh, these are American women, yet I don't know how to interpret their sentences. Literally their sentences. Some woman could come up to me and say one thing and I'd be like, so the idea of like Black women and white women coming together and like really meshing, it's a beautiful idea. And I think it's very reasonable. I think it's realistic. I think it's reachable, and I think it's reasonable. But it's going to take a lot of work on both parties' parts. And analysis of the situation is that it's going to require white women to do more work than Black women. And to be honest, we don't like that because white women have been
coddled.
Thank you. Perfect. Exactly. We've been coddled as fuck. We've been so coddled. And so we have to adjust around men, but we're not used to adjusting around women because women is a safe space for white women.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and so when you come in contact with another woman and she's acting or feeling in a way that is scary or unknown or whatever, then it's like, nope, not happening, you know? And I will also say that I think that white women and Black women and all women share a ton of the same problems. I hope I can't speak for all white women, duh. but I forgot my entire train of thought. It's gone. Because race has only been a thing for white people like in the last like year.
What do you mean a thing?
Okay.
White people had to analyze their own whiteness?
So most white people think that like race is something that other people have. Seriously. And I say that with this
kind of like you guys just have, because it is a luxury to some degree to not have to deal with it. I don't have to deal with, but then you don't think about how you can inflict the experiences on people.
Literally, exactly. Exactly. Because we've never had to think about it for our own selves.
So, like,
maybe you're frozen. Okay.
What do you think it would benefit both parties to? Because, okay, so like a lot of Black women, we talked about this before, a lot of Black women are like in this space now where they're trying to, because for the most part, like the Black community is a matriarchy. So Black women run the show, essentially. You know the statistics, like a lot of Black men are in jail, is not a lot of them available. And then on top of that, Black women don't, for the collective, a large enough collective, don't want to date interracially and explore their options or whatever. So a lot of Black women are now in this phase where we're trying to put ourselves in better positions in society through femininity and through, I guess, changing some of that assertiveness that you mentioned, that bluntness, like, because a lot of the time, in my opinion, it's necessary sometimes, and it's good to be able to speak up for yourself, but also that's a position that Black
has been demonized.
Right. And that's a position a lot of Black women have been pushed to, because unfortunately a lot of Black men aren't doing their job properly. So then Black women, have to take care of children by themselves. They have to raise children by themselves. So they have to be both parents, a large collective. So Black women, I guess, are trying to, because it's a large enough YouTube space to put up a stink and Twitter and stuff, to where Black women are trying to put themselves in better positions and make better choices in dating and having children when they shouldn't, and all that kind of stuff. So, we still have to navigate the world. And so some Black women opposing it view it as Black women trying to obtain white womanhood. And which, of course, to us may look like, like a grass is always greener on the other side situation. Like white women didn't start feminism for no reason. There was a reason why white women fought for, and even then, like, Black men were able to vote before white women. So it's kind of like a grass is greener on the other side. And we know also that a lot of non-Black women mimic certain aspects of Black womanhood that we don't.
We wish we could. We sure try.
So I don't know. So I wanted to pick your brain on that, kind of like more so white femininity. And because a lot of people do, so there's an opposing side that's like, why are y'all trying to obtain white womanhood? Like, why are y'all trying to play into the patriarchy? And then there are people who may try to do that, but also there are, at the end of the day, there are certain things that we all can do to kind of be better and kind of maneuver in a better space. Because even like dating interracially and stuff, I think a lot of non-Black men are attracted to Black women, but they probably don't think Black women are attracted to them, or will give them the time of day, or might cuss them out or something if they say something, which isn't the case a lot of times, but it's kind of like a foreign concept. I don't know.
Totally. I will say that first of all, what the fuck kind of question was that? That's like a million questions in one. And second of all, it's super duper convoluted. And I'm hoping that like the viewers can see us both and hear us both, just because internet is feeling a little shady to me. But okay, so first things first. Femininity is super fucking hard. Like, I myself, I know that a lot of people think of me as super feminine. I don't necessarily, and it's not because I don't want to. It's because like my father or society, not society for me, maybe society for you, maybe your actual parents, maybe norms and actual experiences and feedback and blah, 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 has like trained you to be assertive. I was trained to be really assertive by my dad. So femininity for me is a hard thing. It's I don't know what it is necessarily, because like my mom was super feminine and it didn't serve her. You know, she didn't win out on that situation. And that was obviously super clear and evident in my life growing up, that you're not going to benefit, like you're not going to get the life that you want from being feminine. You're going to get the life that you want by asking for it. You're going to get the life that you want by working for it.
Right.
Masculinity and femininity also is like, that's so much fucking bullshit. Like, assertiveness is male. Receivingness or receptiveness is female. Forcing the change is male. Receiving the change is female. Nah, I don't think so. Also, I had like a super duper extremely like grandma. And so I distinctly remember like in my life growing up thinking like, so you could be a female like my mom, or you could be a female like my grandma. Okay.
Was it your mom's mom or your dad's mom?
No. Of course, it was my dad's mom. My mom's mom was very much like her, and she got fucked over too.
So it's so crazy you say that, because that's how my grandma, my mom's mom, was like that. Like, she was super nice. Like, my mom would always, she died when I was like 4 or something like that. And I vaguely remember her, but my mom would always say, like, if somebody cursed her out, she was the type of person that would bake a cake for them. Like, she would, like, if somebody did something really rude to her, like, she would do something really nice for them. So my grandma was like that too. And it's like, what do you do? I guess for me, I try to find a decent balance, because I'm naturally assertive in certain ways and then not in other ways. So I don't know. But anyway, you keep going.
No, totally. I feel that totally. And I'm not naturally assertive at all. Like, naturally, thinking back on my childhood, I was very, very not assertive. And I have had to learn this and like integrate it into my femininity in a feminine way. I didn't have to. I chose to because I saw this better way of living life. If femininity is equal to submissiveness or passiveness, personally, I'm not into that at all. I don't understand, and it's kind of honestly, it's something that we're discussing in therapy, in couples therapy. Yeah, because like, I am so uncomfortable with it. Just because, you know, being a millennial and being like my father's daughter, I feel deeply and like have seen a lot of examples of dying, suffering women who are dedicated beyond all belief, like to their man, to their relationship, to their family. And I think that it's so beautiful to be dedicated to your family, and it's so wonderful. But like, where's the male dedication to that family? Where's the male dedication to making sure that his woman is cared for, taken care of, provided for,
Right.
comfortable, happy, etc.? It's like, why? Like, something's fucked up if I got born into this vagina body, and for the rest of my life, all that I have to fucking do is making sure that the penis body is happy. Like, that doesn't seem right to me at all. And I'm not willing, comfortable, or able to commit to a life in which, like, that's my reality, where my responsibilities are to take care of my man and to take care of my kids.
Right.
I want to take care of my man and I want to take care of my kids. Certainly, like, big time. I don't have any kids, but but like, that can't be it. And in the typical, like, male, female, 50s housewife femininity version of femininity,
Right.
that's what it is. That's your role. That's your job. That's what it is. That's it. And if you have some nice hobbies on the side, then that's great, especially if you can paint real nice, and then you bring a painting to your husband's boss's new office or whatever, and you can hang that shit up, and then he's going to be proud of you. Huh? Like, that'd be cool, but that should be icing on the top, not like, I want you to be proud of me because of, like, who I am and what I've done and what I've overcome and what I've, like, I want you to be proud of me because of, like, the insides of me and not what I can do for you in your life, because that makes you a tool. And not a tool like in early 2000s, really, you're a tool, but like,
but like,
like you are an actual tool in their life to get other shit accomplished.
Right. I totally agree.
To the question, going back, like, are Black and white women capable of coming together in large numbers? I said absolutely. It would require us to identify with our gender over our race.
Right.
And I think that's really hard.
That's actually a big thing that a lot of the Black women in the space that's talking about it is doing, is you're a woman first and you're Black second. Because even I used to be in a place where I would be like, well, I'm Black first. That's the first thing people see, and I'm a woman. But it's more beneficial for me to be a woman first. Kind of when you separate, when we as a Black woman, if I, operate from a place of woman first rather than Black first, I see things differently. I'm not bothered by certain things. And so my reaction to certain things are different. And so other people's reactions to me is different.
Yes.
So you recommend that Black women be women first.
Yes, 1000%. And literally, I just taught about this in class today. Well, whatever. Last semester, we focused entirely, the whole entire semester, on identity categories and how these categories, there are like 13, like, define us. They define not only how others not only how others interact with us, but then because of those other interactions or whatever, like what it grows us, it constitutes us, it literally decides who we are based on what we think we are. Right. And based on what we think we are, which categories we choose to identify with first, then dictates basically like lived experience. And then those lived experiences dictate our beliefs. And our beliefs also, it goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Lived experiences, beliefs. Lived experiences, beliefs. And then they basically pretty much just reinforce each other. But if you choose to ascribe to a different category, like if I primarily, well, I won't go into myself, but like if you choose to identify as Black first, everything that you receive through your eyes, ears, blah, 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 is going to be put through one film. If you choose to identify as a woman first, then it will be put through the same shit, but it's a different filter. So it's going to be going through different ideas in your mind. And so, therefore, it will obviously create different conclusions that you draw, different realizations that you'll have based on the films and the screens and the processes or whatever that you put your information that you're perceiving through, because everything is perceiving and then judging. And judging sounds bad, but it's not like that. It's just, what do you receive through your information shit, and then what do you make that mean inside of your own head? And so women are across the world the most, that's not, I'm scared of saying like the most and all that shit stuff, but like it is primarily about gender. It's not primarily about race. However, it serves our country, it serves white men to make it primarily about race so that the women are on their side, so that the white women are on their side, because we're bigger in number, obviously, and because whether society would have you believe it or not, people fucking love women. And they believe what we say, except unless you're accusing someone of rape, and then no one believes you. But like the womanly side of things, like no person, no man likes to have a house that a woman's touch has not been in. No. Yeah. Even if at first they're like, it's a bachelor pad, blah, whatever. No. Mm-mm. Every person likes a clean kitchen. Every person likes a warm abode, a warm environment. Like everyone loves women, because everyone has had, well, in my opinion, because everyone has had a mom. Everyone knows what mom, unless their mom's super fucked up, or not very feminine. So it's obviously every single thing that we're talking about here is blurry, it's confusing, it's convoluted, and it has a lot of different sides to it and all that. And honestly, I think that historically speaking, like men have been slightly afraid of what women have to offer, because they know it's nice and it feels good and it would consume the masses and blah, blah, blah. But they haven't been threatened like they ever have, like they are now. Like men, my boyfriend's over there, so here we go. Like women have what everyone wants. Women offer what everyone wants. Women give what everyone wants. Women are more verbal. We're more linguistically capable. Oh, they say like, oh, you're so cute. You're so, well, at least to white women, they say like, oh, you're so cute. You're so nice. You're so good. You do all your work. It's all in on time. You're so good. You're such a good student. Blah, blah, blah. Bullshit. It's because they feel this gap between what they see themselves as and what they see themselves as capable of doing versus what we're actually doing.